Hey, good morning. Today is Friday, February 22nd, and it is Friday, and it is a beautiful sunny day. Once again here in London, I feel like we're having a particularly great stretch of weather here. It is like fully spring. There's daffodils blooming, and there's buds on the trees. I'm not at all used to spring coming this early. And back home, it's still, there's still tons of snow on the ground and it's still cold, and it probably won't be spring and blooming there until April-ish, and here we are. It's not even it's barely the middle of February, and everything is blooming. So spring comes early in London is what I'm learning, or at least maybe this year. I don't know if it's the normal thing or just a this year thing, but I guess I'm not opposed. Most people know I'm not like the biggest fan of hot weather, but it also is not like super duper cold. It's right around 60 is good for me. So it's good running weather, but also not like sweat until you die weather. So yeah, it is Friday. I went to the gym this morning and did some fun weightlifting stuff. I increased my squat weight just a little bit, did my highest ever amount of squat weight, which was 67.5 kilos, which is 145-ish pounds, somewhere between 145 and 150. I am not good at this metric system conversion. I don't know if it's a indictment of my public school, or probably just more of an indictment of me. I didn't ever really like fully embrace this idea of the metric system. I went to good public school, so I think it's probably more of a me thing, but man, it is hard sometimes here to have to pause and think through what the weather is, or what things weigh, or the measurements of things, because I just don't get it. But that's neither here nor there. Maybe I'll learn eventually. I'm definitely learning weights. I'm not really invested in learning the Celsius temperature wise. I kind of have a gauge on it, but my phone tells me in Fahrenheit, and I'm going to stick to that. So I've gone to the gym, and I'm about to head to the library to do a couple hours of work. I don't have class on Friday, so Fridays usually end up being a lot about reading and a lot about just preparing myself for kind of the week ahead. And I'm doing pretty good on my reading. I'm a full week ahead on my reading, and I will try to continue to do that for the rest of the term. There's only a couple more weeks left, which is nice. And then I need to start outlining some papers and getting ready to write papers in the month of April. So I'm going to try to spend some time picking out, for all of my classes, the topics are released for the paper, so I'm going to pick out the topics for all of them today, and start outlining the materials I need and making sure that I have the readings available and things like that. So I'm ready to go. That is how we do the schools here in London. And I didn't spend a lot of time yesterday. I felt like I talked a lot yesterday about claustrophobia, so I didn't write out anything too crazy for today, and probably this weekend I'll spend a little more time writing out some more things. But I'm committed to talking mostly here in my room to myself every day. No one is watching yet because I haven't told anyone that these videos are being made just yet, so there's that. I mean, there's no pressure at this moment for anyone to hear this. I will tell people eventually in the next couple of days here that they can check it out. But I wanted to just read. My sister had to send me something from home the other day, and so she sent me a nice little piece of paper, and she put a little quote on it. It's an excerpt from a poem by Mary Oliver, and I really like Mary Oliver. I like the simplicity of her poetry. Once again, my schooling did not help me develop a love of poetry, but it did. But like as I've grown older and have had access to more and better poetry, and sought it out on my own, I really have found that I enjoy a lot of different types of poetry. And Mary Oliver is a poet that is simple but beautiful in the ways in which she writes, at least for me. So the quote that my sister sent me from this Mary Oliver poem is, "We must read and study, but also we must learn to tilt and whisper, shout, or dance, each in his or her own way, or we might just as well copy the old books. But no, that would never do, for always The new self swimming around in the old world feels uniquely verbal. And that is just the point. How the world, moist and beautiful, calls to each of us to make a new and serious response. That's the big question. The one the world throws at you every morning. Here you are alive. Would you like to make a comment? So that's just a little excerpt from Mary Oliver. I like that in the context of kind of the project I'm trying to do here, making a comment in the morning and getting up and having something to share to the world and not being afraid to share what's on my mind. I think a lot of what I'm trying to accomplish here and work through with this has to do with my reticence. It'll probably get deeper, but like my reticence to speak up in a lot of places, and not that I don't have an opinion, and not that I'm not smart, I am smart, I am opinionated, I have a lot of experience and insight, and I'm highly capable of a lot of things, but sometimes I struggle to get up and make a comment. So part of this experience is me working to do that, and working in a different space to own my voice and to not be afraid of what I have to say. So with that, I'm going to go to the library and spend a lot of time staring at words on pages, because that is mostly what my graduate school experience is. I hope you all have a good day. I will talk to everyone tomorrow, and make good choices.